to my YouTube channel. So last night I was up till 1 o'clock making cupcakes. Reason being, I'm going to see my husband's aunt and she was a little upset last time I brought the baby. I think she was upset because she was fooled, not so much that she didn't like the baby. It was more like she felt fooled, and she hates feeling like that. I mean, we all do, but because she's got problems, it's a bit harder for her to deal with that. So I thought I would be nice and make her some cupcakes to see if that makes her feel better. I used to be like her favorite person. I think that's because like I was new to the family and everything, but I think she was a bit upset with me last time. So anyway, I made her cupcakes, so I'm going to film her reaction of getting the cupcakes, and yeah, we'll see if she likes them or if she thinks my cooking's rubbish. So I'm just going to show you guys the cupcakes. It's a bit foggy because of the fridge, but there we go. I don't look too bad, I guess.
I can't eat all them.
Well, you can try.
I can't, I got all these.
Have you said thank you to those cakes yet?
No, thanks very much
That's alright.
for making these.
That's alright.
That's a good thing. Now,
They look nice.
done your duty.
Still got a chocolate here.
Don't worry about chocolate, they're no good for you.
I know they're not, but people bring them.
Okay everyone, so I got home from the nursing home not too long ago, about the same time that I got home from the funeral yesterday, and I'm sorry my face is red. I have been doing some chores and it's really hot outside, so that is why my face is red. That is also why I'm not in the nursery, because it's another stinking hot day. Even with the window open, there is no airflow and it will just swelter in there. So basically I have the fan up here, and I do have the choice of an air conditioner, but I don't really turn that on much because of power and all that stuff. Anyway, I need to stop talking about airflow and air conditioners and get on to today's topic that I want to talk to you guys about. So as you've seen, my aunt, well, I think I can call her my aunt because I'm related now because it's my husband's aunt. So as you've seen, she did appreciate the cupcakes, although she did complain about having too many sweets already, and I'm not gonna eat them, that's too much cake. But girl, you can never have too much cake. Like, cake is life. Anyway, so basically what I want to talk to you guys about is this reborn hobby, other families' hobbies, and people respecting one another's hobbies. So basically my aunt, she didn't like Paris, and the reason we think she doesn't like Paris is because she felt fooled. And as an adult, it's a lot easier if, you know, you've been tricked. Sure, you just, I'm so annoyed, how did they trick me? You know, you get frustrated within yourself. Whereas if you trick a child, sometimes they can get upset, and, you know, they can't just let it go like an adult can. And she's kind of got that nature because of something that happened to her when she was little. She was found face down in her cot and starved of oxygen, so they think that is what has caused it, because she's just got this really childlike nature. So you kind of have to be careful because anything can come out. And so yeah, basically she still doesn't like Paris, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about. You can't force your family to like your hobby, and but at the same time, I know I've touched on this in another video, and I know a few other YouTubers have touched on this. At the same time, people shouldn't be disrespectful of your hobby just because it's not for them. It's like somebody in your family does scrapbooking, or, you know, any other hobby, whatever family members in your family might have as a hobby. If you, obviously their hobby isn't going to be your area. You know, your area is reborn dolls, let's just say, you know. because probably for most of you watching this video is going to be for Reborn Dolls, because this is a Reborn Doll channel. So basically, your family might be into scrapbooking. Someone in your family might be into scrapbooking, and you can go, oh yeah, that's not for me, but you know, oh, you're having fun there? Oh yeah, that looks nice. You know, you can just make positive comments about it with, like, they're not going to force you to sit down and do scrapbooking with them. And if they do, well then that's wrong. Nobody should ever do that. But I've had people who say that people come along and call them silly for playing with a doll. And I've even had people saying negative comments to me about playing with dolls. And when you think about it, it's the most natural thing to do though. So it's a hobby, you know? Playing with dolls is a hobby, but it's pretty natural when you think about it, because adults look after little babies. Little babies are dependent on the older people to look after them. They can't feed themselves until they get older. You know, little babies are dependent on their parents. And we, in this hobby, the people in this hobby, you know, we like to have these babies for different reasons. We can just enjoy that escaping from the reality of life, also escaping from any anxiety. It's really calming having a sleeping baby or something and just rocking a baby. It's really calming, and it helps with people like me who are having a lot of trouble having babies, and some people may never have babies, and it helps them, and it brings, you know, joy and happiness. You know, hobbies are what helps us get to the next day, basically, you know? Like, our hobby is something that can get rid of the stress from work or school or whatever we do in our daily life that brings us stress. That hobby can help us get past those things. So basically, even though my aunt, she doesn't like the doll, and she probably never will, and it's probably because she felt tricked. And, you know, with having that child nature, it's harder to bounce back from something like that. So yeah, so basically I just won't bring the doll around her, but like, she hasn't said anything else mean about the doll. But basically what I'm saying is that you know, you're not hurting anyone with this hobby, and you know, men can have trains and nobody thinks anything of it. Whereas if a woman has a doll, or you know, even a reborn daddy has a doll, people sometimes say mean things. And what I'm saying is that people should be respectful of your hobby. Yes, they probably don't, this reborn hobby isn't for them. They don't find any joy. I don't know. Joy is the right word? I don't know. Anyway, they don't find any happiness or anything from doing this hobby. It's not for them. Their hobby is something else. But they shouldn't stand there saying, oh, that's weird, or that's creepy, or you know, all this kind of stuff. Just like I said before, to the scrapbooking person, it's not your thing, but you might say, oh yeah, that page looks nice. And like, somebody could say to someone who's got a reborn doll, oh, how sweet, you're feeding your doll. And it's like, you don't have to say anything negative, even just something nice, or just don't say anything at all, and just don't tell that person that they're weird. Because it's like if somebody came up to you and said, oh, that hobby's weird, or this hobby is weird, and if you're not hurting anyone, there's no problems. Like, obviously, if you had a hobby where you were like hurting your pets or animals, you know, if you had a hobby where you're hurting pets, well, there's something wrong with you if you're in that hobby to begin with. And that is not, I wouldn't even consider it a hobby. I just consider that weird. Well, not weird, but you know what I mean. It's unkind and unmoral. So if you're in that kind of hobby to begin with, which nobody should be, because that is just cruel, where you're hurting animals, that is a hobby where you can say, that's not right, you shouldn't be doing this. But if somebody's playing with a reborn doll, come on. Come on, guys. It's a doll. Like, who cares? It's a hobby, it's a doll. Like, who cares if they're playing with a doll? They're not hurting anyone. Unless they throw the doll, which no reborn collector or mummy or daddy would ever do that because they're so expensive. Like, they're not hurting anyone. So why judge them for having that hobby? No one's hobby should be judged, especially not reborn dolls, because they are very natural, and I know it's one of those hobbies that does get a lot of backlash that a lot of hobbies don't experience. So yeah, so basically, don't force your family to like your hobby. Don't force them to be involved in your hobby. But if they're being disrespectful to you about your hobby, that's wrong. So basically, look after each other, love each other, and thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.